Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at GrowFolds, and today we'll be talking about importing houseplants from GreenspacesID. This is an unboxing. As always, please make sure you are hitting the like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. I'd really appreciate that support, as well as following me on Instagram at GrowFolds. That is the fastest way to get in touch with me directly if you want to send me a direct message. So for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome, my name is Richie. As you can see right here, I am doing another GreenspacesID unboxing. I have ordered and purchased plants from them several times, and I've had some amazing experiences with GreenspacesID. So today you'll be seeing an unboxing from me. I will give you my plant insights, ways to save money on importing plants, and talk about just the whole process of getting imported plants from overseas. Now, mind you, in terms of just GreenspacesID, I would say that they make getting plants from overseas a lot easier because you don't necessarily have to worry about having an import license. The reason being is they have a broker or somebody that is able to get these plants legally into the United States, called plantshop.us. I believe that that's where the destination goes first before it actually makes it into our home. So a little bit of some more insight. I ended up getting an order placed on November 30th, and I know that this video is a little bit later. I just haven't had time to make it, but I received this shipment on December 22nd. So theoretically about 2.5 to 3 weeks process from placing the order, from getting the plants shipped overseas and then delivered. A lot of the times, when it comes to imported plants, what makes it the process longer is because the host country or the seller has to get a phytosanitary certificate issued by their government in order for it to meet the regulations to enter the United States. So, as far as GreenspacesID, again, it's just a really good company. You can see right here, they have all of the items and plants packed well. This has already made it to their first stop, which is New Jersey, and then it ends up going to my home, which is based out in North Dallas. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, I like to do unboxing videos. GreenspacesID has always been kind to me. Whenever I need to reach out to them, I can just send them a direct message on Instagram. And as far as the plants, I've already seen what plants I was going to receive because I did ask them for a favor in terms of them actually either sending pictures of the plants or better yet, sending videos, small little video clips of the plant. So the first one right here is going to be an Aglaonema. This one is called the Aglaonema Mahasadi. And we're going to see what this looks like. Now, as far as the packaging, again, GreenspacesID does an impeccable job of packaging. When you think about getting plants from overseas, especially in the United States during the winter months, you always worry about what the plants are going to look like. And you can see from the get-go, this one right here shipped very well. Now, as far as like the foliage, whenever you're getting imported plants from overseas, you don't necessarily want to focus a lot on the foliage. Obviously, you want to make sure that it's not just losing all its leaves, but you really want to look at the roots. The roots are the most important part when it comes to getting plants from overseas. If you notice, it isn't in sphagnum moss, so you want to make sure that if you have a seller that's sending you plants, that they are following the protocol of getting plants to you, and that is only through shipping sphagnum moss. Putting soil substrate into the package is not allowed from overseas because it could potentially have pests. So as far as any plants that you will receive from GreenspacesID, it will always be wrapped in sphagnum moss. I always call it as like plant diapers, but let's go ahead and take the sphagnum moss off and kind of inspect the roots. That's one thing I will say. You can already see from the get-go, especially with Aglaonema, you want roots that are pretty thick and white. If you see anything that is mushy brown, that's not always a good sign for the roots. So as far as this one right here, I'm really excited for the first plant that I got from GreenspacesID. A lot of these plants are going to be Aglaonemas because Indonesia is a place where they have so many varieties of Aglaonema. I'm going to go ahead and take some of the dead I guess leaves that are about to die off the plant. For me, I do that just because I already know that the plant is going to put some energy in trying to keep that leaf alive. I would rather it focus on either developing a more stronger root system or just giving that energy to the remaining healthy leaves. And that's the thing. As far as getting plants from overseas, it is normal, and I say this, it is normal for the leaves to either be yellowing or having some of those leaves not make it. It is part of the process, because when you think about it, these plants have to be uprooted from their soil substrates, cleaned out, washed out, disinfected, make sure that all of the pests are gone, and then there has to be a slight drying process. And then on top of that, you also have to think that they are traveling several thousand miles from a Southeast Asian country, tropical country, into the United States. So they undergo a lot of stress. Now, this one right here is an Aglaonema cuncum. This one is actually a plant that I got from my good friend Janae Simone. She loves Aglaonemas. And so here's the thing about importing plants or getting plants specifically from GreenspacesID. If you want to save money on the import as far as just like the shipping, I would suggest getting several friends to order one big order. It is a little bit more complicated when you order more than 12 plants, but if you're just looking to get a dozen plants and you want to split the cost for shipping, go ahead and do a order with your friends. So this one right here is an Aglaonema cuncum, beautiful pink foliage, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some of the yellowing leaves. It's normal, again, to just get rid of some of these leaves right here, that one over here as well, and then there's another one that's kind of a straggler. I honestly am probably going to get rid of that when I actually pot this plant up. But look at how nice and long the roots are. They're super healthy. And we're going to continue to do this unboxing. So a couple of my friends actually ended up doing an order with me. So it was Janae Simone, Stephen of I Live Plants. So both of my co-hosts from a plant podcast that I recently joined. It's called The Cultivation Corner. We have episodes premiere at 7:30 Central Standard Time on the Cultivation Corner YouTube channel. It is a plant podcast show where we talk about all things related to plants. So I hope you guys will actually tune in. Episode 5 will be premiering tomorrow as I upload this video and premiere. So I hope you guys enjoy that and join it. It is on the topic of how we started our plant journey. And, you know, that's something that's super exciting. But to go back to this import, again, plant foldies, this is actually an Aglaonema bicolor. So what made me really happy about GreenspacesID is whenever I do massive orders or stay as what they call a loyal customer, they end up sending me bonus plants or free plants. So I'm really excited to get an Aglaonema bicolor. Now there is an Aglaonema pictum tricolor, but the bicolor is really cool because it has a darker foliage on it, if you notice, and it is just got two-tone color, and I really like that. As far as 2025, you know, it is the new year. Couple of updates about my personal life and just things that are going on. Really happy to be done with the holidays. I spent 2 days working on my actual house and doing just New Year's cleanup, and all of my plant room is set up. So I will be able to do a house plant tour very soon. I promise you guys, plant foldies, I'm super excited about that. But that's something that will be shown soon, and you will see that I have a massive Aglaonema collection. And, as far as GreenspacesID, again, if you want plants that are a little bit harder to get in the United States, you want plants that are healthy, you can see from the get-go that when I do an unboxing video, you're definitely seeing firsthand about what plants I'm receiving from overseas and the status of how I receive them. A couple of other things I wanted to talk about with importing plants is, if you get a plant that, an import or just plants from overseas and they come off perfect, know that there is an acclimation period for the plants, whether you need to either repropagate them or get some more viable roots before you can actually get the plants to acclimate to your space. What I mean to say is sometimes the plants may look perfect, but then about a week or two, there might be a slight decline in their health. That is also normal. Do not panic. I would also say, as I do this unboxing video, like this is another Aglaonema Kumkum. Now this one I paid a little bit more because this one is a little bit larger of an Aglaonema. Notice that it's got some beautiful pink. Some people will say it looks like an Aglaonema Lady Valentine, but if you really look at the nuances of the actual plant, you can see that it is got a little bit more narrow leaf, and the pink is a little bit darker, and then also the green is a little bit darker green as compared to some of the pink varieties that we find in the United States. You can see that I am still taking the sphagnum moss off of this plant. I'm really excited because if you notice plant foldies, all of the roots are super viable, super healthy, and this is the reason why, again, I would highly recommend GreenspacesID. If you are interested in importing plants or getting plants from GreenspacesID, feel free to send me a message, a direct message on my Instagram at GrowFold. What I can do is actually place you with the GreenspacesID Instagram and do a direct group chat with them to introduce you to GreenspacesID, and then you can continue on with your order. I've done that for about 2 plant foldies. Super excited. I know one empty nest plants actually did an import from GreenspacesID. Super excited, and they were able to get their plants from overseas. So I love the fact that she was able to get, some really good plants. And I have another, plant foldie that actually sent me a direct message asking me about Aglaonemas, and we were able to set up an actual order. So you can see, again, plant foldies, the way we've started out. This is an Aglaonema Gold Star. Love the Aglaonema Gold Star. I'm just, unboxing this again. And for those that have made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching this this unboxing video of GreenspacesID imported overseas houseplants. Sometimes shopping for overseas plants, it's actually exciting because the process is slightly longer than, say, ordering from a domestic seller. But whenever you get plants like this, I'm going to tell you from the get-go, I'm really satisfied and excited with the plant status that I've gotten so far today. You can see that they are healthy. There's just a couple of leaves that are a little bit yellowing, but again, that is totally normal. What's more important for me is the roots, and I'm going to go through the whole process, and please make sure you're watching through the entire video to see me actually clean the roots, put them in a Acclimation jar with just some nutrient water, and then I'm going to pot these up in semi-hydroponic substrates. So you can choose to plant these in either soil substrates, although I would recommend them really acclimating to their space. Give them at least 24 to 48 hours to soak in nutrient water, which I will get into as soon as I'm done unboxing all of these plants. But as you can see right here, the roots look pretty good, and I just had to take about 2 dead leaves off. And again, that's my choice of getting rid of the dead leaves. It's because I want the plant to actually put more energy into the actual remaining healthy leaves and actually put more energy into producing more viable roots. And that's really the case. But if you have any questions about GreenspacesID, please leave that in the comment section. If you have plant insights, please leave that in the comment section. I really love that engagement from y'all. And if you haven't already, plant foldies, please make sure you are hitting the like button or pressing the thumbs up button for this video. It definitely helps push this channel out to more plant lovers like yourself, especially for those that may not be exposed to getting plants from overseas. Maybe that's something that you have never really thought of, and I'm hoping that we can get even more plant foldies to look at buying plants from GreenspacesID. I know a couple years back, getting plants from overseas was a little bit more common. I think it's because there was that, houseplant craze where we all wanted to just collect plants back in 2020. I do think that there is a surge of love for plants again. What I'm really excited about, just looking at the new year, especially in 2025, it is the first week of the new year, is even going big box store plant shopping. I've been able to find some new plants by like Costa Farms. There's already plants that are already restocking in these big box stores, even though we're still in the winter. So that's really exciting exciting. But as far as imported plants this year or plants from overseas, I am excited to be able to get more plants from GreenspacesID. I'm collecting more Aglaonema. If you're looking for anthuriums, if you're looking for philodendron, they are a place where you can source out a lot of those plants. And again, the communication that GreenspacesID gives to their potential buyers is impeccable. The customer service is great. They're very reachable. So if you have any questions, they usually respond within 24 hours. For me, I'm always texting and chatting with them almost on a daily basis, even if I don't have plants that I'm ordering. I think it's because I just have built a relationship with the GreenspacesID. They also have live selling videos that they do on Instagram. So definitely check that out, where they also give out free plant giveaways. Myself and Steven of I Live Plants ended up winning some free plants, which I am going to be getting in the mail again. I'm also placing another order from GreenspacesID, but you can see right here, we've got some gorgeous, more Aglaonema. This is an Aglaonema in tan, which kind of looks like an Aglaonema frozen. So we're going to take a look at this. This is one that I really wanted to get. I love the fact that it has some pink stems, and I can see that there might be 2 or 3 leaves that I'm going to have to take off of this plant. But overall, if you ask me if I'm satisfied, I'm highly satisfied with just the whole process of GreenspacesID. And so we'll see what other plants I get. It is a plant haul. I love doing plant shopping hauls and just shopping hauls in general. I think that it definitely gives us some more excitement to go plant shopping. You can see right here, beautiful root, beautiful plant. Leave in the comment section if you agree. Leave in the comment section if you've actually bought plants from GreenspacesID. If you haven't already, make sure to follow them on Instagram. Make sure to leave a comment in their comment section. Tell them you found them through GrowFold's YouTube channel. I love sending plant foldies to them. And as far as like GreenspacesID, again, I mean, this is super exciting. It definitely was an early Christmas present for me in hindsight. I mean, the fact that I received this on December 26th, you will see that. And actually, when I pot up these plants, you'll see that they were actually sitting in their nutrient water substrate for a little while longer than I wanted them to be. But as you can see right here, this is a Dieffenbachia round variegated form. Now, this one was a plant that I ordered from my friend Kuya Craig, he Plantito of the Kuya Craig Plantito YouTube channel. He is a good friend of mine. He actually works for a nursery out here in the North Dallas area. So he wanted me to actually order him this. You can see from the get-go, there is one leaf that doesn't look like it's going to make it. But, this is a little bit more of a pricey plant. It looks like there's 2 leaves, which, as far as that, again, it's one of those things where it does happen where sometimes the leaves don't make it. But you got to think again that this was shipped in temperatures that potentially were really cold. I mean, it has to go to the East Coast in New Jersey and it's already cold. But if you notice, the box was actually insulated with that metallic insulation. So, that's good. But as far as this right here, we're going to just clean this plant up. What I'm most concerned about is the roots. If the roots are brown and mushy, then we've got problems. But you can see from the get-go, yes, GreenspacesID has also delivered right here in terms of just the plant's root. So I am just going to get rid of this dead leaf right here. And we're going to go ahead and get rid of this one as well, because it looks like it's out of its, it's going to make it to plant heaven. But if you notice closely, there is already a new leaf that is pushing out and unfurling. But what's more important is you can see that the roots are super clean, and you've got even secondary roots where they're a little bit more fine. But what a beautiful variegated Dieffenbachia. I definitely want to get one for my plant collection. As far as Dieffenbachias, again, plant care tips would be they do need quite a bit of bright indirect light. Make sure that you are giving them a little bit more humidity and they will do well for you. But let me go ahead and clean up this little mess of mine. As far as like unboxing, I try not to have as big of a mess, but sometimes that happens. But anyways, plant foldies, if you have any questions questions so far, please leave that in the comment section. Let me know what you think about these plants. And also, if you're interested in purchasing plants from GreenspacesID, definitely go to GreenspacesID. That's their website, and you can use my promo code GROWFOLDS20 for 20% off your entire purchase, which is a really good discount from GreenspacesID. Now, the next plant we're going to get is an Aglaonema frozen. Let's take a look and just see what the Aglaonema frozen is going to look like right here. You can see from the get-go. So now this one is probably the first plant that I have probably the most concern about. And the only reason being is the majority of the leaves are yellow, so we're gonna see if this one's gonna actually make it. I'm gonna take a look at the roots, but quite honestly, this one is my first time actually seeing a plant in this status in terms of just what plants I receive from GreenspacesID. Typically they're perfect, are close to perfect, but this one right here has some opportunities. Again, that's not, GreenspacesID's fault, because when I did see the video of this particular Aglaonema, it was in perfect condition. But whenever you're transferring plants from overseas, and you can see that the roots are not in the best shape either. So as far as this plant right here, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the obvious yellow leaves that are not going to make it, but I may go ahead and just reach out to GreenspacesID and see if they can work with either getting me a replacement plant, see what we can do. But as far as this, I'm still gonna work on trying to get this plant revived. It's not that it's a dead plant, but you can see right here there's a yellow leaf, and I'm gonna go ahead and take that one off. I mean, I just feel like that one's just gonna take up some energy. So we're gonna see what this plant looks like. The thing about Aglaonema is they are slower growing plants, so as far as getting it rehabbed to the point where it's healthy again will take some time. I would estimate a good month or two. So it's going to take a long process. So I'm going to go ahead and reach out to GreenspacesID after I was done with this this unboxing. So this one right here is another Aglaonema simplex variegated. So we're going to take a look at this one. So this one I was actually super excited about because it is kind of like in that Aglaonema pictum realm, that type of family of Aglaonema. And you can see right here, unfortunately, this one also looks like it might have some potential. When you talk about like yellowing leaves being natural, yes, but if you got majority of yellowing leaves there, then that means that either the plant might have been in some cold weather, and that's the reason why sometimes whenever you're ordering plants from overseas, you want to kind of time out what time of the year you're purchasing it. So for instance, in the summertime, in the hot months of June, July, and August, I wouldn't necessarily receive plants from GreenspacesID. And the reason being is I get 100+ degree weather out in North Dallas. So that's just not the best time to actually get plants. I would say even in the winter time, that's not always the best time. So maybe some of this might have been just cold damage. But then again, you think about it, a lot of these plants were actually in the same box, and the majority of them, except for maybe these two that I just unboxed, may have some opportunities. I mean, you can see that the leaves are a little bit yellow, actually a lot yellow. And so for me, doing these unboxing review videos, I love the fact that I'm able to at least give you an honest review and give you insights on what potentially you can experience whenever you're getting plants. I think that that's really important whenever you're doing YouTube plant content, that you show not only the positives, but the opportunities in just plants in general. But as far as this one right here, so here's the good thing about this Aglaonema simplex variegated is you can see that the roots are super viable and super healthy. So yes, I'm going to take a lot of these plant leaves off. It's probably going to get super leggy. So what I would do if I was going to actually try to keep this alive is I would definitely put this in a substrate, a semi-hydro substrate, and plant the plant as far down into the planter so it can actually either push out some more leaves or just new growth. You can notice here though that the leaves are, at least the roots are really nice, but I am making a mess plant foldies. So that is, the biggest opportunity is those last two that I just unboxed. But overall, super excited about all the other ones that I've been able to unbox. We're going to take a look at this. So this one is an Aglaonema Adela, and I was able to order one as well from my good friend, Steven of I Live Plants. He has a YouTube channel, and the reason why I wanted to get this is if you look at how gorgeous the undersides of this Aglaonema is, super stunning. And you can see that even though I had 2 potential casualties in this order, I don't have any qualms about it, because I already know that GreenspacesID will take care of me, whether they're going to give me a replacement plant, credit toward a new plant. And that's the thing. Whenever you receive plants from a seller like GreenspacesID, it's very important to reach out to them immediately if you have any opportunities with some of the plants not looking or meeting the expectations you were looking for. Now, as far as expectations, again, plant foldies, you can't always ask for a perfect condition plant. So therefore, if there's like 1 or 2 yellowing leaves, you can't say, hey, this plant is damaged. It's just part of the process. Now, if the roots are not healthy, that's when you can reach out and say that it may not make it. But as far as this right here, Aglaonema Adela, it's got some really good roots right here. And that's another thing I like about importing plants, is because they are shipped bare root, which makes it easier for me to do semi-hydroponic substrates. It's easy for me to do that because basically I just have to clean the roots a little bit more. I don't have to worry about actually getting rid of all of the soil, because the seller from overseas has already gotten rid of all traces of soil. So super excited about that. And then let's take a look at this one right here. Now, this one is the main event. This one is actually a variegated Anthurium clavinarium, and this one is actually an order I did for my friend that Sean. He collects anthuriums, and he's actually purchased a lot of anthuriums from overseas as well at PlantCon 2024 and even at the Texas Aeroid Show. So definitely want to check out all of these anthuriums. And again, if you are an anthurium lover or somebody who likes to collect anthuriums as part of their collection, GreenspacesID has them, and we got a really good price for this particular variegated anthurium here. So I was really excited. And again, as far as just getting a bunch of friends to do a massive plant order from GreenspacesID, I will say that you will save a lot of money on the shipping, even though I would say the shipping didn't cost nearly as much as you would think. It really just depends on how many plants you're purchasing. You know, if you have any questions about that, I would definitely reach out to GreenspacesID. You can send them a direct message on Instagram, or you can just connect with me as well, and we'll see what we can do in terms of just placing your first order. But as far as this variegated Anthurium clavinarium, stunning roots. It looks like it's super healthy. And, you know, as far as anthuriums, I say if you put them in a semi-hydro substrate like Lechuza Pond or even Leca, they will do amazing. I'm really excited that this one came in almost perfect condition. And, you know, this was probably the most expensive plant of this actual plant haul. And as far as the anthurium, I'm just glad I was able to get it for my friend Sean. Hopefully it will grow well in his care. And I mean, like, look at that variegation right there. If you haven't already, please make sure you're hitting the like button or the thumbs up button if you agree on how gorgeous this one is. This one is a really nice looking anthurium again, and I will be able to get this to him soon. So if you are interested in doing a plant import haul from GreenspacesID and you're in the local Dallas-Fort Worth area, definitely send me a direct message. Maybe we can work something out. I know that the next step I'm going to show you is actually cleaning the plant with my neem oil spray. So I actually make a DIY neem oil spray, and what I do is I mix a mixture of 2 tablespoons of cold pressed neem oil that I bought from Amazon. I also put 2 tablespoons of rubbing alcohol, either 70 to 90% strength, 2 tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide, a drop of dishwashing liquid soap into a conventional spray bottle, fill it up with water, shake, 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 and you have a DIY neem oil spray. So what I do whenever I get all of the plants from their sphagnum mosses, I will take them to the sink. I will spray the tops of the leaves, the bottoms of the leaves, the stems, the roots, especially the roots, and let the neem oil spray sit on the plant for, you know, maybe 5 minutes or so. And then what I do is I'll go and get some running water and actually start cleaning the roots. Not that these plants really need an extensive cleaning, but just to be on the safe side, I like to just spray my plants down. You know, as a rule of thumb, whenever you're buying plants or you're putting plants in your plant collection that are new to your house, you always want to just have that air of caution in making sure that you are cleaning them and making sure that there are no potential pests sitting on them. So I tend to just overspray them and spray them with some neem oil. And you can see right here, now that they've been sitting there with the neem oil spray solution, hopefully it kills any potential eggs, any potential pests. And I really go ahead and clean the roots of the actual plants. Now I'll leave the neem oil spray on the actual leaves, but as far as like on the roots, because the next step would be to place these plants in some nutrient solution water, so that way they can dehydrate, de-stress, get some of that vigor back from just the travel. I mean, you can see right here, just cleaning up the roots. So this is what I'm going to be doing for a little bit. So just let me know in the comments if you have any questions. And I went ahead and just cleaned this particular Aglaonema Adela out as well. This one is for my friend Stephen of Houseplants. If you haven't already, please make sure you are subscribed to his YouTube channel, as well as following us on the Cultivation Corner Plant Podcast on YouTube. That is the plant podcast show I'm part of, and I'm super excited to be part of that with Janae Simone and Stephen of Houseplants. And you can see right here, I am cleaning my friend Sean's Anthurium, variegated Anthurium. And then this one right here is for my Kuya Craig Plantito right here. I'm spraying his stuff down. And then that Aglaonema that had some opportunities. We'll see if I can rehab it. But again, if you have any issues with your plant order, you can always reach out to GreenspacesID as quickly as possible. That way they can either find a replacement plant or find some way to credit you back with the plants. For me, I'm choosing to either get a replacement plant if these do not make it, or get credited for the next one, because I do intend on buying more plants from GreenspacesID. I trust the seller. That is a reputable nursery. I mean, they've been in the business for about 23 years. They have shipped all over the world. So if you are a plant foldy, for instance, in Canada, they are able to ship to Canada and lots of places all around the world. So I know I have a couple of international plant foldies. Welcome to the channel. Love the fact that you guys are there. But as far as my Canadian plant foldies, there are a lot of y'all. Shout out to Kathy of Canada. I know you are always out on the live premiere chats. Really appreciate your love and support. You are pretty much on every single live premiere chat. And if you are actually watching this video live during a live premiere chat, please say hello on the chats. I love meeting new plant foldies. And if you haven't already, you can also leave a super sticker or a super thanks, which is basically a monetary tip that you can provide by either pressing the $ button. Any amount I'm grateful for. And during the live premiere chats, please take a look at the live chat goal that I set. And that's really just super sticker, super thanks. For those that have supported me on a monetary tip basis, thank you so much. Your tips to help this channel out through a monetary basis really helps me with my gas money, even just being able to import plants, being able to purchase these plants so I can feature them. And I really appreciate that. Don't feel obligated, but if you do feel inclined to support me that way, definitely send a super sticker, a super thanks, or take a look at the live chat goals that I have set forth. But anyways, going back to the plants right over here, you notice that now they're cleaned up. I am now putting my nutrient solution. So I let these plants sit a minimum of 24 to 72 hours, sometimes longer. But you can see even this variegated round Dieffenbachia for my friend, I'm putting nutrient water. So what I do with my nutrient water is I use a product called Super Thrive. It's a B vitamin that helps really recover the plant from stress. I also use We the Wild liquid fertilizer, just a little drop in the water. And I use a little bit of Fox Farm fertilizer mix, which is the boomerang. I put like a tiny drop in a gallon of water, and basically that's just going to provide some nutrients to where the plant will be able to recover. So that's really what I like to do, is just put them in water, let the roots soak, let them acclimate to the space. And it's really important. I would not recommend putting plants straight into soil as soon as you receive them from overseas, because they're under a lot of stress. The roots have to actually rehydrate for them them to really perform and do well. The good thing about it is I am actually planning on planting these in Leca, which is a semi-hydro substrate that I'm using. Unfortunately, there's not any lechuza pond available on Amazon. I'm hoping that they get in stock soon because that is my favorite substrate. And you can see over here, Aglaonema frozen. This one has had some opportunities in terms of just more of the yellowing leaves. And then the roots probably weren't the best to begin with. So this one's going to need a little bit more love and care for sure. But I'm going to see if I can keep this particular Aglaonema frozen alive. Again, I'm just putting some nutrient solution. It's a very trace amount. You know, I always say less is more when it comes to fertilizers or nutrients, but I would say if you don't have access to some of the plant products, even just putting them in straight water is okay, but I would highly recommend using Super Thrive. And here is the other set of Aglaonema that I need to make sure that I spray a bunch of neem oil spray just to make sure that the plants are clean. What I also love about the neem oil spray is it does give the plant a little bit more of a shine. You know, I'm all about plant styling and plant foldies. Again, I know that I keep mentioning that I will be doing a houseplant tour. I promise you I will be doing that just because I have been able to get my plants situated to the point where it's presentable for YouTube. So we're going to take a look at that. Again, in terms of just cleaning the roots out, it is important to clean out that solution if you're going to spray it on the plant, because you don't really want your plant sitting in like rubbing alcohol and neem oil whenever you put it into the nutrient solution. A lot of the success when it comes to importing plants or getting plants from overseas is really the acclimation period, the care that you take for the plants. You know, I do a lot of big box store plant shopping videos, and I do think that getting plants from overseas is a big box store plant shopping alternative because yes, you might be able to find some Aglaonemas, right? But the thing about it is these Aglaonemas are more uncommon versus the Aglaonema red siam you would find, say, at Lowe's, Walmart, or Home Depot. And that's why I want to create more awareness, especially for GreenspacesID. I know that there's been a lot of plant influencers, plant YouTubers that have featured GreenspacesID. There might be some mixed reviews, but you know, if you're watching my videos, you can at least see my personal experiences. You know, I did a collab with GreenspacesID originally on my first video when they offered to send me some free plants and give them a unboxing review. But you know, moving forward, all of my personal reviews from that initial order that I got from GreenspacesID have just been my personal plant orders. I love the fact that I know that I want Aglaonema. I know that there are certain uncommon plants that I can find. They provide very cost-effective pricing. I will say if you're looking to get a bigger discount from them, the more plants you order, the potential bigger discount you can get. And if you haven't already placed an order for GreenspacesID, hopefully this video gives you some confidence to do some plant shopping. You know, the new year, we want to try to look at our finances, especially the first part of January, where maybe we might have overspent a lot of money on our Christmas shopping. But if you are looking to buy plants from GreenspacesID, you can use my promotion code GrowFolds20. Yes, GrowFolds20 for 20% off your entire purchase. If you ever send a direct message to GreenspacesID, please tell them that Richie of GrowFolds sent you there. I really want to get a lot of our plant foldies excited about getting plants from GreenspacesID. And can you leave a comment for this gorgeous Aglaonema Adelia? Look at how gorgeous the speckling of the leaves are, and also that red veining. Such a stunning plant, and I love the pink stems on it. You know, I just wish that more big box stores, local nurseries would carry Aglaonema, but for now, I do have this resource called GreenspacesID that I can buy my plants, and when you place an order, you know, as far as frequently asked questions, it takes about 2.5 to 3 weeks for you to receive the plant, and a lot of it has to do with the phytosanitary certificate being issued by the seller. And then you can see over here, I am still taking some time to spray the plants, make sure that they're clean, and then it's the same process. So let's just watch this and let me know in the comment section again if you have any questions or comments about the plants today. I would really like to get some insights from y'all. Here again is the process of this Aglaonema comcum. This is a beautiful one. This one is for my friend Janae Simone. Look at how amazing the roots are. And again, plant foldies, if you have watched several plant videos of GreenspacesID reviews, you can at least see that I've taken a little bit more time to show you the ordering process, the acclimation process, the cleaning process, and then you'll also see the potting up process. Again, I took a little bit more time to make this video just because number one, the holidays were super busy, and then number two, I wanted to make sure that I edited this video a little bit more intentional. That way it is long playing. So if you like that long format content, you're really going to see the details of my process. I did talk about doing more different forms of plant content for the new year 2025. And then, I mean, you can even see right here, this is an Aglaonema pictum bicolor, and actually you can see that there are little corms that will pop out for this one right here. Really excited about this particular plant because I know I have the Aglaonema pictum tricolor, but the bicolor also looks good. I like that camouflage look, and I got a really good price for a lot of these plants. I would even say doing a group import with these plants has really saved me a lot of money on just being able to get these plants. So again, for those that are in the local Dallas-Fort Worth area, I have my select people that I do, orders for. I would love to continue to grow that with the plant community. And if you are, say, in a country like Canada, where there might be some plant foldies that you can connect with, I would say do an order, buy plants from GreenspacesID. It is one of the best international sellers. They have some really good plant pricing. And if you are planning on going to like some plant conventions, like say PlantCon 2025, I will be going to Orlando on February 22nd. So hopefully I can meet some of our plant foldies there. Would love to meet you. I know that that would be a fun time. So now I'm going to show you the process of getting these plants potted up in a semi-hydro substrate called Leca. It's a little bit more cost effective as compared to the lechuza pond. Mind you, I received these plants on December 22nd. I did the whole first part of the video where I put the nutrient solution. When I potted these up, this was actually on Saturday, January 4th, 2025. So the plants actually stayed a lot longer into the nutrient water solution. So they stayed for about 2 weeks. That's when you know that the plants have actually acclimated and have been able to really settle in and get those nutrients. I will say there are going to be a little bit more casualties in terms of some of the roots, because again, plant foldies, like I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, these plants, they may look pretty good when you first get them, but then it is normal for the plant to slightly decline in health. I wouldn't say it's just going to die out completely, but in terms of the plant, you definitely will either see a little bit more casualties on the leaves because the plant is going through that initial shock that it took when it traveled all the way to whatever destination it did when it left Indonesia. I am still thankful that I've been able to get these plants. I love using Leca. It was something that was introduced to me because I don't really water my plants as often. And even though Aglaonema are easy care plants, it is a lot easier when you can put them in a self-watering planter and just fill up the water reservoir. You don't have to actually water them or actually fill up the reservoir for a good 2 to 3 weeks, and something I love. And if you notice, I actually planted this Aglaonema masahati further down into the pot. If you notice, I also pulled the self-watering wick string. You want to put that further into the middle of the pot because you need that to soak up the water into it. Now this one right here is an Aglaonema odella. This is going to be for my friend Steven of I Live Plants. You can see that it's still 2 weeks later after sitting in that nutrient water, it's still looking pretty good. The first part is I'll put a little layer of that leca and then pull up the string further up to the pot, so that way it's in the middle of the pot and it will pull it up, and I'll actually sit the actual plant kind of on top of the self-watering wick, and then I'll fill up the plant with that leca. You want to make sure that you're at least with Aglaonema, if you want the Aglaonema to not look as leggy, when you plant them further into the pot, they'll be able to actually push out new growth. So I really love the look of that. Now as far as the leca, I bought these at IKEA. So if you're ever going to go shopping, shop at IKEA. There's a lot of nice planters, and you can get Leca for $9.99, at least in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's where I get my Leca. It's a pretty stable semi-hydro substrate. I love it. And if you notice, I'm tapping it, patting it, and making sure that the Leca is settled, and also for any of the dust or whatever, it will push some of that out. But I'm going to just do this process, so just feel free to relax and listen to maybe some of that ASMR. So I'll stop talking for now and just let you listen and watch this process as I pot up my plants from GreenspacesID. Hopefully, plant foldies, you're enjoying this process of just me showing you when I've actually unboxed the plants from overseas all the way to the potting up process. So you'll see that all of these plants have been in my care, or at least acclimating in their nutrient solution for 2 weeks before I put them in a substrate. So it really depends on what you would want to do with the plants. I would say you have to gauge the roots. If you feel like the roots are pretty stable, you can go ahead and put them in a substrate. I feel a little bit more confident putting them in a semi-hydro substrate like Leca or Leca because they've already been bare root. Now, as far as like planting these plants in, say, like a soil substrate, my only advice would be to give them a more chunky soil mix and to definitely water them with some Super Thrive, which I'm going to go show you as well. But I'm going to continue to just pot up these plants. Again, plant foldies, if you have any questions, leave in the comments, but I'm showing you how great these roots are. Even after 2 weeks being in the nutrient solution, it didn't get mushy. If anything, these plants are now hydrated and ready to go. I will be putting them under grower lights to really give them the most optimal condition. And again, whenever you're putting plants in self-watering planters, you want to pull up that wick further into the middle of the pot. Notice how that Aglaonema Adela's roots are kind of sitting right on the wick. So that way it'll pull up water from the self-watering planter. Really enjoyed this process, super relaxing. Again, if you haven't made it into the comments section, please leave some comments. Please hit the like button or the thumbs up button because it definitely helps my channel out. So we'll keep potting up some plants and let me know what you think. Now that we've got the plants potted up in my Leca self-watering planters, and by the way, if you're interested on where I got these planters, I bought them on Amazon, a really good deal. What I'm going to do now, and honestly, I wouldn't recommend doing this in your sink long term, is to actually rinse out the Leca just to get any, actual debris out of it, the dust, just really actually rinsing it out and cleaning it. It's just a process that I like to do. It's not necessarily important for a lot of people, but I like to keep my substrates clean. So I let it just rinse out for about a minute, and then I will actually water it with some nutrient solution. And again, the nutrient solution I will be using is basically a gallon of water that I put just a small amount of Super Thrive solution. I also use We the Wild liquid fertilizer, which is this right over here, the Grow fertilizer, because it's got a lot of organic material in it that's going to help give the roots a little bit more absorption of the nutrients, as well as using a tiny amount of Fox Farms boomerang fertilizer. I'll mix that, and you can see now that I've rinsed it, I'm going to go ahead and water the Leca with the nutrient solution, and then finally I will fill up the water reservoir in the self-watering planter with about half of the nutrient solution, and then another half of just regular water, so it's really diluted. You don't really want to put too much nutrient solution in your semi-hydro, because number one, it could burn the roots, and number two, it could just really shock the plant. As a rule of thumb, when it comes to fertilizers in general, less is more. I know it's tempting to try to over fertilize or feed your plants, but if you're able to just give them trace amounts, more frequent waterings with that, it's going to work out for you long term. But yes, plant foldies, let's just enjoy the process again. So I'll kind of give you guys less commentary during this process.
Quick touch up on that paint.
All right, plant foldies, let me know what you think about this type of content. Again, I'm repeating the process again with just rinsing out the leca to make sure all of the dust and debris is gone. This one is an Aglaonema cum. This one is for my good friend Janae Simone. Please check out her YouTube channel. She also loves Aglaonema. And then you can see this Aglaonema Gold Start, beautiful plant. And I'm just excited because in my opinion, these plants look super healthy, and I have no qualms about these plants becoming really nice specimens in my care because GreenspacesID was able to give me some great plants to begin with. All right, plant foldies, that's basically it. You can see now all of the plants have been potted up in semi-hydro substrates called Leca. Look at how gorgeous all of my plants are from GreenspacesID. Hopefully, seeing this process is going to get you inspired. It's going to get you to want to order from GreenspacesID. That is the website. Again, definitely follow them on Instagram as well. Send them a direct message. Let them know that Richie of Growfold sent you there. Send me a direct message. I can put you on a group chat with them. So if you're ready to do your order for some gorgeous plants, not just Aglaonema, but just so many different types of philodendrons, syngoniums, different types of aeroids, lots of anthuriums, Hoyas. They have it all. And I am excited to also do an unboxing video from, Succulents Asia. They are doing a collab with me and I will show you that process. But you can see right here, this gorgeous variegated Dieffenbachia round form, beautiful plant, and obviously all the Aglaonemas. What I did too is I actually sprayed the plants whenever I was rinsing the Leca with We the Wild Protect Neem Oil Spray. It is my favorite leaf shine neem oil spray. So I have my own neem oil spray, but to really make the leaves look shiny, I use microfiber gloves after spraying them with We the Wild Neem Oil Protect Spray. You can order from wethewild.com. It is one of my favorite sprays to put on my plants because it's not invasive. It has a really good smell about it and it makes your leaves look so shiny. And that's part of growing plants, right? Is actually curating them, making them look pretty. I would say either manicuring them, that's basically either doing that or even putting that extra makeup on your plants just to make them look gorgeous. Nothing beats a healthy looking plant when you are able to get them to look like this. I mean, would you believe that this process was really not that invasive. It didn't take that long, and you can see how gorgeous the leaves are. What I love about the We the Wild Protect neem oil spray is the fact that it makes the leaves shiny, but it also gives a pheromone to keep pests away because the plants have that extra level of protection. It protects from like spider mites, mealy bugs, and even thrifts. And I would say as far as plant pests, thrifts are the worst. But if you go through the process again, even with these plants that went through a lot of stress through the shipping, you can even see the results of it. And hopefully this unboxing video, this how to import plants successfully video, this plant shopping video has really inspired you. Again, use the promo code GROWFOLDS20 for 20% off of your purchase on GreenspacesID. That's the website. Definitely check it out. Leave in the comments if you have any questions because I want to be a resource for you. As always, please make sure you are hitting the like button for this video. It definitely pushes this video out to more plant lovers like yourself. I'd love to see our plant community grow. And as always, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel with all the notification bell on. Check that out. And if you feel inclined to leave a super sticker or super thanks, I'd love that as well. I'll see you on the next one.